Good morning, folks, and welcome to the Galton Fuse Daily News for Thursday, the 11th of July 2024. Colin here giving you the penultimate news update for the week. I hope you are all well. Just a shout out for anybody who is looking for extra content. The live stream will be up at 8:30 tonight on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. It'll be myself, Andy, and Davey. Hopefully, a wee bit less ranty than the last couple of weeks. Now that there's actual football to discuss. And of course, you'll have the news tomorrow morning too. And there'll be extra content for our Patreon members and our YouTube members over the weekend. Again, £1 a month if you do want extra content. If not, find a like or subscribe, folks, wherever you get your podcast. It does really help. So into the Rangers news then. So a fair bit to chat through yesterday, and just to close off the story that we've been speaking about for the last couple of days, Robbie McCrory officially signed a deal with Kilmarnock yesterday. So it's an undisclosed fee. There is some rumours that it was 500 grand that Kilmarnock paid for him, but I don't know, that seems a bit steep for a team like Kelly. The other side of that argument is that's Europa Conference League money potentially coming through, but it will be in the six-figure mark. I don't know if it would have went up to the 500 grand. There is a sell-on fee for Rangers, so McCrory signed a 2-year deal, and if Robbie McCrory does get sold on from Kilmarnock for any money, Rangers will get a cut of that profit. So makes sense because he's a very talented goalkeeper. Hopefully he can go and showcase his talent in Kilmarnock. He will be the undisputed number one there. Absolutely no doubt about that. So I wish him all the best at Kilmarnock. I do really like McCrory as a player. He's always came across well, and it's just one of those things, being a goalkeeper at the Rangers. We need that top tier goalies, and we can only play one. But no, I hope he does do well at Kelly, apart from maybe 4 or 5 games next season when he is playing against Rangers. If he can fumble a few in, that'd be much appreciated. So on the actual football then, Rangers did kick off the pre-season. Well, I don't know if we can say kick off. They had the bounce game against Hamilton at the weekend. So another bounce game, which wasn't streamed live. There was updates in inverted commas on the Rangers Twitter feed, and those updates were just announcement of the team lineups, half-time and full-time. They were playing Standard Liege in the Netherlands, and it finished 0-0. So there should be highlights on the RTV channels pretty soon. But the first half team that played for Rangers, it was Jack Butland in goals, a back four of Leon King, John Suter, Ben Davis and Ridvan Yilmaz. Leon King playing in the right back berth. Midfield 3 of Mohamed Diomande, Connor Barron and Tom Lawrence. And up front, Ross McCausland, Cyril Dessers and Oscar Cortez. So after 30 minutes, Cortez went off for Robbie Fraser. So Cortez, it was always planned that he would only play 30 minutes. Robbie Fraser playing in a bit of an unfamiliar position on the left wing. I wonder if that's something that we'll see more of this season. The second half started with Jack Butland, Leon Balogun, Connor Golson, Clinton Nasira and Hefty. So I wonder if Hefty is playing in the right back there, with Clinton Nasira playing in the left back position. Midfield 3 of Nico Rashin, Cole McKinnon and Kieran Dowell. And a front 3 of Scott Wright, Finlay Curtis and Robbie Fraser. So in the 60th minute, Rabbi Matondo came on for Robbie Fraser in the left wing, and Alec Lowry came on for Finlay Curtis in the 75th minute. So I wonder if Lowry did kind of drop into that false 9, or if he was playing as the number 9. So Finlay Curtis, good to see him being in and around the first team as well after a decent season for the B team last year. So it's about same folks. Whether it ended up 5-0 to the Rangers or 4-0 to Standard Liege or anything in between, it doesn't really tell us anything. This is just to really get minutes in the legs. But it's interesting to see who the manager is trying out. I wonder who will get more minutes against Ajax on Saturday. That will be a very interesting game to watch this weekend. So Kieran Dowell was speaking to the press yesterday after the game, and it was the conversation was tailored towards his season last season and his thoughts on how he got on. And he said he came across very frustrated, and he said, "I'd like to think there is more to come from me. I didn't start many games last season. I think it was only 4 or 5 games. There wasn't many appearances either, so they've not seen the best of me. They've not seen much of me, in fact. Hopefully they can in this coming season. My first year was just so frustrating, really frustrating actually. Obviously I was learning a new position as a central midfielder, which I hadn't really played before. That was due to availability and stuff, but in amongst that there were injuries, which is also frustrating. But I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling fresh. I've had a good rest over the summer and I'm fighting fit now. I remember scoring against Motherwell, was going well, and then I got another knock. That's how it went, but that's football for you. You can talk all you want about it, but it's happened. I'm past it and I'm feeling strong again. How do I lean in on those moments? Everyone at the club. The lads here are a good group to keep you humble. If you're getting ahead of yourself, they will put you down or they will keep you going if you're down. It's a good group of lads for that. And obviously my family and friends were a great help too. So what to make of that? It's, I think we do forget when we are frustrated as fans of players' lack of availability. We do forget that there's a player there who's equally as frustrated because the vast majorities of footballers want to be on, playing in the pitch, training every day. They don't want to be injured and sidelined and get this name for themselves. So, no surprises there. But it is kind of what you do tend to hear from injury-prone players that not frustrated, they've not had a chance to showcase or get going. He was asked about then how the season finished, and he was asked about, I think it was in particularly the Dundee or the Ross County game, and he said that was obviously a tough day for every player on the pitch. I started that game, but I don't think anyone really had a great game that day. You end up suffering because of it. It happens, but that's football. You end up out of the team, and the only thing to do then is to keep training and keep working hard. The biggest lesson is to realise that we're never out of it. With the start we had last year and losing the manager who signed me, everyone thinks it's all over. You see the press and it seems like it's done, but it wasn't. It was back in our hands by the end of the season, so you just never know when you're out of it. It is important to have a faster start this season. Ideally, yes, but you are not out of it if it doesn't happen. I was probably in my first season thinking we are off it here, and we weren't. Obviously, you want a fast start, but it's a long season too. He was asked about his relationship with Philip Clement, and he says, I think you can see the amount that he uses me. He's a really good coach, and in training, he helps you a lot. He's taught me a lot about learning new roles as a central midfielder. He's added a few things to my boat already, which is great. He wants you to play. He encourages you to try stuff. He is a good manager. So a few things that I'm taking out here. Like, first of all, that he was rolled out to speak to the press by Rangers. I wonder if that's an insight onto the role that he will play next season. He's mentioned a couple of times about central midfield being a new role for him, and he's still learning. Again, we know we need something different in the central midfield. When he signed, he was pretty much in the same ilk as Todd Cantwell and maybe more onto the left-hand side as well. That's why he played for Norwich. I wonder, is this something that Clement sees being someone that Clement sees being able to add something different into the middle of the park? Is that maybe and quote unquote like a new signing in there. I'm not quite convinced, and I can only go on the evidence that I've seen that he can fill the gap that we need there, but maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe Clement can get a tune out of him. Maybe with a full pre-season, touch wood, hopefully no injury worries, and learning under a new manager. I don't know. I'm not convinced with Kieran Dowell, folks. I'll be honest. He was injury prone at Norwich. He was injured for a long time. The last season, when he did play, he didn't really set the header alight. Clement does seem to have favoured him a couple of times, but I don't know if that was through want or through necessity, because we didn't have many. I suppose we will see how he turns up in pre-season. So another player who has been speaking to the press, but been speaking to the Romanian press, is Albion Rrahmani, and he was speaking to all the news outlets ahead of Rapid Bucharest's first league game of the season this weekend. So he was asked about his future, and he said, "I'm here, I'm focused 100%, and I'll fight for this team until the end. I'll fight for the fans, for the team, for them to support us is unconditional. The new players are very good, and we have a strong team now. Mr. Lennon's a very good coach with a very good game philosophy." I'm sure some of you will have opinions on that, and this will help us to be better and better. I hope to reach the top 5 leagues in Europe someday. If a team offers something interesting for the club, I will talk to Mr. Dan Sucro, the Bucharesti owner, and if the offer is also in the interest of the club, I will make a choice. For now, I am a Rapid player, and I will give 100% for the team. So, again, the window's a long time ago, but he will be playing competitive football this weekend, which is a bit of a... I don't know if it maybe... The longer this goes on, I think the less likely it is Rangers are going to sign Albion Rrahmani, I'll be honest, folks. With his language there, something interesting in terms of projecting into the top 5 league. I'm not taking this as has to be an offer from a top 5 league, but it has to be a swing. Like someone has to be able to project them into that. And also in the fan advisory board minutes, Niels Coppin was saying this is the type of players that they're profiling, players who can go on and play in the Premier League or Serie A or Bundesliga or whatever. I don't know if Rangers will spend the money that Bucharest need for this, especially when there is other interest from Serie A already, from Czech Republic, from Eastern Europe in general. So I don't know, and it's went really quiet in terms of the outlets over here. You know, I think Rangers Review have stopped speaking about it altogether. So I think the longer this goes on, the less likely it is to happen. There is a lot of chat around Rangers being 1 in, 1 out this season, this pre-season, which I can understand balancing the books and making sure we're not spending out with our means, but as a fan, it's just so frustrating. The fact that we need to move on Cyril Dessers before we bring somebody in, I think it really delays the work that we're going to do, and it means that we are going to be working right up until the 30th of August. But it's only the 11th of July. We've only had 2 bounce games in so far, so let's wait and see. In other news, there's 2 more stories then. So first of all, just congratulations to the women Rangers players who are going to be playing international football over the next 7 days or so. So we've got quite a lot of call-ups, particularly for Scotland. So Scotland play away to Slovakia tomorrow night in the European Championship qualifiers, and then at home to Serbia in the same qualifiers on Tuesday night. So representing Scotland are Jenna Fife, Nicola Docherty, Leah Eddy, Chelsea Cornet, Kirsty McLean, Brogan Hay, Kirsty Howitt. Jane Ross was called up but pulled out through injury, and Mia Macaulay is getting her first full Scotland call-up. So amazing for Mia. still only 17-year-old, setting the head of the light for Rangers and Scotland under 21s last season. Now she's playing with the Scotland senior team. So it'd be great to see her get a cap this year. So congratulations to her and all the rest. Laura Rafferty, the new signing from Southampton, will be representing Northern Ireland away to Malta on Friday, and then at home to Bosnia and Herzegovina on Tuesday night. And then, of course, Victoria Essen will be playing for New Zealand at home to Zambia this Saturday, the 13th of July in the friendly. So good luck to everybody who's representing the international sides, and just come back with your head held high and no injuries, please, ladies. The last thing I'll just cover off, again, something that we're going to be covering every day until the board actually, find their voices and come out and tell us what's happening, is that it's looking ever so likely, according to Chris Jack, that Rangers will agree a deal with Hampden over the short term to be playing there at the start of the season. So they still need to iron out how they compensate Queen's Park for the games that they will have clashes in, but an update is expected over the next week or so, and it's long overdue. So Chris Jack reporting on that this morning. Nothing really concrete, just that it's looking likely that it will be firmed up and communicated to the supporters. So we will go into that in more detail, I'm sure, on the live stream tonight. So until then, folks, I hope you have a lovely Thursday, and I will speak to you tonight along with Davey and Andy. So until then, take care.